Hello and welcome to another episode of The Hub on Vital MX, your one-stop shop for motocross news from around the world. And of course we have now crowned our Monster Energy AMA Supercross champions, but that's not what we're here to discuss. This is a feature designed to catch you up, bring you up to speed on all that is happening around the world. So let's get right into it and start with Cole Davies, who confirmed that he broke his arm and nose in that vicious crash in Salt Lake City qualification. From what I know within the Star Camp, the broken arm is not especially complicated, and so I fully expect to see him at the SMX playoffs, where he will of course be a contender for the win. That leaves Star Racing's roster as Hayden Deegan, Jeremy Martin, Max Anstey, Nate Thrasher and Michael Moserman for Fox Raceway, although Anstey is still questionable after that Birmingham injury. Jordan Smith, the other rider involved in that Cole Davies crash, skipped Salt Lake City, but it was only a precaution. He had a hematoma, was scraped up, and just sat out to ensure that he doesn't do further damage ahead of round one of Pro Motocross. So he'll be good for that event, and Triumph will return to full strength almost for Pro Motocross, as Jordan will be joined by Mikkel Harrop, Austin Faulkner, and Styles Robertson. Jalik Swole, still recovering from that Achilles tear, will not return until around Redbud sort of time. But at some point, Triumph could have 5 riders under their tent, which will make things pretty busy for those that work over there. One rider who won't make it to round 1 of Pro Motocross is Dylan Ferrandis. Ferrandis took to social media to confirm that he has a stress fracture in his left leg that he's been dealing with all season, and so he will take time off to get that fixed and return for the playoffs. So 2025 is not over for Dylan Ferrandis at this point. No word on whether Phoenix Honda will fill that 450 seat for the outdoors, although I know an MXGP rider would quite like a chance on that bike. So watch this space. One rider who has changed bikes would be Zach Osborne, who is now a Beta USA ambassador. I say Beta USA, of course that's where the deal is tied to, but it seems as though he will end up being involved with Beta around the world in some degree. A lot involved in this deal, it would seem, but a good landing spot for Osborne, who has been searching for a role that allows him to fulfill his passion for off-road in its entirety. And of course, this means we get Osborne more involved in the sport, which is not a bad thing either. In more contract news, it was announced last week that Aaron Plessinger has re-signed at Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. That is of course no surprise. It has been heavily rumoured since Foxborough, I believe. It was done the week before that, I want to say. So now, KTM have Plessinger and Beaumer under contract for 2026. They are still negotiating with Vial, although let's be honest, that will just work itself out. And they are still negotiating with Sexton, who at the time of recording, May the 14th, has not signed a contract for next year. And you can take my word for that. I would encourage everyone to go and watch the Chase Sexton interview on this channel as well for a raw, emotional look at what it's like to process the loss of a championship. Jumping across to Europe, WSX announced that London has been cancelled for 2025. London was one of the first events announced for this calendar year, and due to operational challenges with the venue, they will not be visiting there for this season. I heard that they are trying to fill the gap in the calendar with a UK venue, but I don't see it being possible, and I don't really know whether they will find a replacement round at all. Maybe they just stick to 6 now, which will actually make it easier for the riders and teams trying to shoehorn this into their schedule. Speaking of the schedule, WSX have teased the release of their 2025 calendar for some time. It was supposed to be out by now, but from what I know, Malaysia is definitely on there, Australia of course, Argentina of course, South Africa, Costa Rica, and one that is escaping me at this time. But I believe Malaysia may be round 1 now, if my memory serves me correct. This weekend will be quiet. No MXGP and no Supercross or Pro Motocross event. But there will still be plenty to see, as national championships will run in the UK, in Germany, in Holland, and At least 2 of those, Britain and Germany, will have live streams on YouTube for free. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be something to watch. The GP riders will filter out amongst those various championships on their weekend off. And then next weekend, it's full steam ahead with Fox Raceway and Ernée. Hours upon hours of motocross action. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of The Hub. I'm still a little sick, so I apologise for the struggle that this commentary has been. We'll be back next week to recap all that has happened in the world of motocross once more.